you should never stop learning because life doesn't stop teaching you. So even if we don't want to learn, we are learning things,
Yes.
day by day. And if we have a mindset to learn, it will be much more easier for us to cope up with things and learn things.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the People Hum interview series. This is your host Neha at People Hum. People Hum is an end-to-end, one-view, integrated human capital management automation platform, the winner of the 2019 Global Cody Award for HCM that's specifically built for crafted employee experiences and the future of work. We run the People Hum blog and channel that receives more than 200,000 visitors a year, and we also publish several interviews with well-known names globally every month. We have with us today Justin Raj. Justin is a highly passionate HR professional who believes in the fact that learning never stops and each day is an opportunity to learn something new and make a difference to the lives of people around us. He is very keen to gain business knowledge and provide employee solutions to the business. He believes in learning and growing each and every day from people around him and from his experiences. He's experienced enough failures in life and is proud to speak about them before speaking about his successes. He believes in making a change no matter how small it is, and also he firmly believes that your age and experience do not matter in making changes to the society that you belong to. He aspires to also be a best-selling author very soon, and we're very sure that the rate at which you're growing, Justin, that day will come soon enough. So thank you so much for being here on People Hum. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful welcome, Sneha. Yes, it's a privilege for me to be here on this platform for sure. And I'm very privileged to be here in this platform at this young age, and also, to get a
Absolutely.
chance to be here talking about my journey so far. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. The pleasure is all ours, and we're very thrilled to get into conversation with you. So let us begin on an inspiring note. So you've mentioned that you faced many failures before succeeding. So would you like to share your experience with us on that?
Sure. Yes, it is something that I would like to speak given an opportunity anytime, anyways, Neha. Because I personally feel that my failures have contributed more in shaping me as a person I am today than my success so far. Uh, so I would like to begin from my 10th standard board exams. I scored good 85% in my 10th CBSE board and stood third in my class. My parents were so proud. My teachers were very proud of me. Then in my 12th standard, I flunked in one subject, physics. And that was my first taste of failure in life, to be honest, because for someone who had never failed in his academics throughout his schooling, and he just flunked in his 12th boards, which was one of the crucial point in life.
Yeah.
There were some reasons because of which I failed, but the question for which I still don't have an answer till date is why I chose science as a subject in 12th after
Mm-hmm.
10th. I believe it was a complete parental pressure, peer pressure, and societal pressure which made me choose my second big mistake in life of choosing an engineering degree after flunking in science.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that was the second time I experienced failure because I had to drop out of my engineering course within a year. Uh, the third time I tasted failure was when I chose the wrong college to pursue my master's degree in HR management. It was a wrong decision because I didn't went to any IIMs or XLRI, or I didn't give any CAT exam for that matter. I simply went to a tier B school because of my own ignorance, I would say. For me, till that point of time, it was about just going by what others used to say and not listening
Yeah.
to what I wanted to do as a person in my career.
Mm-hmm.
So, large story cut short, after being flunked in 12th, after getting dropped out from a graduation college, entering into a wrong college of choice, and all those failures, I was fortunate enough to start my career as an assistant HR manager with Reliance G at the age of 22. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, so I remember there was a time when I got dropped out from my college and I was sitting at home thinking about what to do next and what career I need to start first, start pursuing, and that's when I thought of doing an MBA. And till that point of time, I was not clear of why I want to do an MBA and what was the reason and all. But trust me, when I started my career at 22, I was very uh, I knew what I wanted to do in my career and what I wanted to do in the life way ahead. And today, after almost 3.5 years into my career in HR, I can very well say that my decision was very correct when I started, taking my own ownership. Uh, the only difference I think I have made is just I just started listening to my heart. I today as a person feel that you are the only person who can uh, tell you what you can do. No one can guide you better than you yourself. So yeah, that's been my journey so far.
Absolutely, and that is actually truly inspiring because to see that you started off being brilliant at everything that you did and came at a crossroads in life wherein you realized that unless you listen to your own heart, because you deep down you knew that this is what you wanted to do. So the
Right.
moment that you decided to follow it, you ended up where you wanted to. So I don't think there can be anything more inspiring than that. And I'm pretty sure that most of our viewers and listeners would want to listen to something like that because they have or will be at a point like this in life. So that's
Correct.
definitely wonderful advice. So
And
Dustin,
I also, sorry to interrupt, I also feel
no
that,
problem.
the journey doesn't stops here, right? You will be coming across
Absolutely.
failures going ahead also. But,
Correct. Yeah.
but the only difference right now is that I am prepared to face those failures even now because I've gone through that phase of coming out of those failures now, and it has actually made me more resilient right now. So yeah, that's it.
Definitely. Definitely. So based on your experience, how do you think one can create a fulfilling career in HR?
Okay. See, based on my experience, I'll tell you, when I started off my career as an HR, there were so many myths around the HR profession as in. I remember people telling me that HRs are, HR is a job function where more number of females are, preferred in an HR job. Also, when you have done an MBA from a B school, when you go out, you won't earn much in HR function. Better you go for sales, marketing, or any other profession which will give you more money. Also there is a the way the people have started looking at HR job is changing if you see in this time.
Yes.
I'll tell you why. HR today is changing its perception in a way as a more data driven, forward thinking, diversity and inclusive specialist job function, and not just the traditional rangoli maker concept or sending emailers. The
Yes.
way
Yes.
HR is changing a lot today, and anybody who is wanting to get into an HR function, I believe, are not only required to have just communication skills or people management skill, but on a broader term, they are required to have an analytical mindset, coaching skill set,
Yes.
storytelling skill set for that matter, and also business acumen skill set, to name a few. Uh, Also, one more thing I personally feel is that you need to have a mindset to embrace the change when you are into an HR function. The way you look up to things gets changed very soon. I remember when I started off my career, I thought HR as a function is all about people, all about HR. But if you ask me today, down the line 4 years, I understand that HR is all about business, all about people and business. It's all about equally understanding business as much as you understand your people. So so that's how I think HR is defining itself, and that's how I think HR scholars should see it in coming days. Also, someone who needs to build up their career in HR in coming days needs to be more sharp on data handling and data interpretation. I feel they need to have very strong coaching skills also, and also they need to be a good storyteller. As I would like to say it. Because if I go on a LinkedIn and platform and if I start looking at HR leaders whom I follow, I could see that they have started a process of telling, interpreting data and all those things in a way of storytelling. So if you see the traditional HRs are known for their communication skill, but today the HR is known for interpreting the data in a storytelling way, which I find very interesting. So I think this all are the things that HR scholars need to keep in mind while choosing a career in HR.
Absolutely. And it is very wonderful to see how when you started off with this domain, you had a different perception of what HR is. And today, if somebody were to ask you, like you just mentioned, you have a completely different perception of so many other things that HR is and could continue to be. So I feel
Yeah,
like that is a testament to how HR has grown over the past few years.
thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. So, I want to ask you that as someone who also holds expertise in talent acquisition and talent management, what would you say are the challenges that many professionals can face in that area?
Uh, I think this is the best time to talk about challenges,
Yes,
right?
yes, it is.
So we all are going through a challenge, which is the COVID, obviously. But the COVID being a challenge, it has brought in new challenges to business and the way function, used to perform. I remember I could never think of my job as a HR sitting at home and doing the work, because at some point of time back I felt that HR is all about talking to people, reaching out to them. It's all about an interaction one to one. And right now, trust me, from last 1 year I'm sitting at home and performing my job. So that itself is a challenge, right, where you don't get a chance to meet people directly and talk to them. uh, that the virtual challenges obviously are there. Also, when I speak specifically about talent management and talent acquisition, obviously the challenge of an HR lies there, because when you say talent management, creating employee experience through digital forums has been a big concern right
Yes,
now.
yes.
Right. So if you ask me, while designing an HR calendar in 2019, or in the beginning of 2019 or 18, we were very creative, coming up with some creative activities of doing a floor to
Mhm.
floor activities and all. But trust me, in 2020 and in 2021, while looking at creating an HR calendar, we can feel the challenge, because anything you want to do, you are not sure how it is going to impact the person who is on the other side of the screen right now.
Yes, yes.
You can't tell whether that person is actually feeling engaged while you try to do talent engagement and talent management activities. Also, talent acquisition, I understand, uh, it has changed a lot in from the traditional way of hiring. So it has become more of a virtual hiring right now. So I was fortunate enough in Reliance Geo to be part of a project where we started doing virtual interviews, right? And I remember we were talking about how we can bring in robotics and all to taking virtual interviews. And we felt that the challenge was that we were not able to express the I mean, if we bring in robotics, we won't be able to identify how the human behaves in a particular situation, and that is a very crucial factor while you do an interview.
It is, it is.
Right? So we were thinking on that lines, and so I remember we talked about how that will take a few more years to make the robotics and try understand the human psychology and interactions and all. And trust me, today, 1 year later, I can see a lot of organizations and a lot of people talking about taking virtual interviews, having all this kind of, and within a span, everything changed.
Yes.
So I feel that's where the challenge lies. We have to be more improved in terms of talent acquisition and talent management while when we are stepping into 2021.
And like you mentioned, these were topics that you were already discussing at a time that you did not anticipate the pandemic. So
True.
a lot of people are saying that, what has happened right now, the change that has happened right now is something that was long overdue, but the pandemic has sort of accelerated it. So
Right.
while
It
that is
can
a
be a
good
boon also.
thing, yes, exactly. So while that is a good thing, at the same time, it is also true that we are not as prepared to maybe understand that technology better in such a short span of time.
Mhm.
So I feel like what you just said is definitely very insightful in regard to that.
See, there's a word which pops up very frequently in nowadays on all social media and all kind of
Mm-hmm.
platforms. The word is resilience, right?
Yes,
So we have actually got a lot of resilience right now during the COVID to
yes,
see it to see the things which are coming up ahead in our way. So I think we will be prepared in that way for future for sure.
definitely, definitely. This pandemic has taught us a lot of things.
Yeah,
So,
right.
you've previously been open about making a change in society, no matter how big or how small that change is. So, how do you think, in that light, leaders can embrace that same approach to cultivate teams that are driven with passion?
Yes, I do feel that changes can be made at any point of time, and no matter how big or small. I'll give you some examples of mine. Uh, so I have started writing my own short HR stories and thoughts under the pen name Chanakya for you and my HR talks on LinkedIn,
Oh,
and that too
wow.
after getting inspired from a very senior HR leader. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I remember when I started off this initiative on LinkedIn, I went to that HR leader and I told him that after looking at your own works, I got inspired and I started my own writing short stories and all. So he told me. So one thing he told me that he read my short stories and he told me that he felt it very interesting and it's very good. But he told me that I have to see how people are going to perceive it because
Yes, yes.
he is someone who is very experienced in that field and he has had his own journey of 18 to 20 years, a career journey. And I am as someone who is stepping into this career and it's been just 6 months into the HR career as such. But I told him that, that's where I come from. The perception that it doesn't matter whether you are experienced or whether
Yes.
you are absolutely a new fresher to do something. You can make a change. So I remember for around almost 50, 60 posts that I've started in the initial days, I didn't used to get any response on those posts. But recently, I was very fortunate, I was feeling very happy to see that one of my posts has crossed, has been crossing a lot of milestones on LinkedIn. And there were almost around 700 to 800 comments on that post. And
Wow, that's a lot.
yeah, so and I'm someone with just 3 to 4 years of experience into HR. So and then I had an opportunity to talk to this leader and I told him. So he actually told me that this is something which I can be proud of right now. So
Yes, yes.
that's one example. And secondly, last year I have participated in Chombe's HR 40 under 40 2020 in India, where my colleagues and my fellow participants all were very senior HR leaders, from industries. And I remember when I just started my journey in that 2020 leaders. Started my journey. I remember people asking me why, how I feel I can make a change, how I feel, why I should, get into a journey with seniors. People were not supporting my decision on getting into that journey with less experience. But if you ask me, after 1 year, it has changed my perception of how I used to see HR as a role. Right, it had given me a very different, altogether perspective. And what I gained from that journey is today I have so many HR leaders whom I can just ping on LinkedIn, and they actually respond back to me. So there were people whom I used to send a connect request on LinkedIn, and maybe they may not accept it because they may not know me, and they may go through my profile and see me as a junior professional, and they may not know me. But today it's not just that they have accepted my request, but it's just that I have them as my mentors and my people whom I can reach out to, and that's the change I have done for myself. So it's just a small initiative, small step that I have taken, and I feel uh, when I can make a small impact, the leaders and thought leaders who are there, whom we do follow day in and day out on LinkedIn and other social media platforms, and on other platforms, they can obviously make a change. And I mean, it's just how you are going to create that change, how you are perceiving that change is what matters. Yeah, and that's what I believe in. Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like your outlook towards life is wonderful, Justin, and it's something that all of us should learn from because it is not unless you take that leap that you end up realizing your potential and you know what you
True.
could do. And that can literally change your perspective. That can entirely change your perspective.
Thank you so
So
much.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Justin, lastly, do you have a quote that defines your feeling the best way about the future of work, workplace, and you?
Oh, see, what I feel is that my the quote that I follow in my life right now at this point of time is that you should never stop learning because life doesn't stop teaching you, right? So I've seen people saying this, that they don't feel like learning anymore. Uh, it's from my own experience. When we send across any learning initiatives as an HR, uh, it's very difficult for people to get into a learning mode and learn things. But
Yes, yes.
if you ask me, I'm still learning, and for me, it's every day is a learning, and I'm learning. And this this quote is very relevant to me because, as it says, life doesn't stop teaching us. So even if we don't want to learn, we are learning things,
Yes.
day by day. And if we have a mindset to learn, it will be much more easier for us to cope up with things and learn things. Yeah, so that's it.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful note to end the interview on, and that is very, very valuable advice, Justin. This was
Thank
such
you.
a delightful and insightful conversation, and I feel like your humble nature is definitely going to take you places. We're very thrilled to have spoken to you today.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Sneha, and for People Hum to give me this opportunity and come on this platform. Yes, I feel that after the when you reached out to me for this opportunity, uh,
Mhm.
I also had my own doubts, like how exactly I should take it. But as I said,
Yeah.
someone with so less experience and someone who can come forward and talk about, I'm sure more people will be interested in coming up and talking their experience on the platform. So
Absolutely.
thank you
And the
so much.
work that you've done previously is very inspiring, and I feel like you deserve to be here. So it was
Thank you,
amazing talking to you.
thank you so much, Sneha.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.